So we've currently got class 31, number 31327 in the works at the moment, and that's due to an intermittent fault that's developed on it, and we've had to take it out to service for repairs. Hi there, so I've had this package delivered today, and I believe this is the M-Tronics traction and sound card package that I've ordered from them for the class 31. So let's have a look at it. Come across a bit closer, we'll open it up and see what's inside the package. Well, it seems well packaged. So here we are, into the box. See what packaging there is. So this must be the lead for the hand control then, to control the locomotive. Some kind of a connection lead. Have to be very careful, I don't want to cut anything or damage anything that might be in there or connected to this PCB that appears to be in this little package. So there we are. That's part of the system. I'll have a look at all this off camera a little bit later and find out what it all is and see about how to fit it into the loco, and then we can come back and we can have a look at it together and hopefully fit it. So this is part of the sound system then, apparently. More connection wiring for inside the locomotive to connect all these components together, presumably. This is the hand controller for controlling the locomotive. This is the kill strap. So you would be controlling the locomotive from here, and if for any reason the locomotive took off or you dropped your handset and that became unplugged like that, the locomotive would stop dead and all control would be lost. But at least the locomotive wouldn't charge away into the distance. So that's like a dead man's handle, if you like. If that came out, the whole thing would stop. And that connects into the locomotive. I'm guessing this other one is an extension cable, should you need an extension cable, if that weren't long enough. Here's the speaker, quite a heavy item in its own right. This will generate the sound of the engine for the locomotive, the starting operation and the horn and the shutting down system when you ask it to do that. So that's quite a heavy item in there. So there it is, the speaker. So we need to be very delicate with this cardboard piece here, otherwise the sound and the speaker will be distorted. In here is what would appear to be the main controller for the locomotive. So this is the main item then that sits inside the locomotive with all the connections onto it for the motors from the battery and such. And presumably the hand controller connects into here somewhere. So all this then is about £480 at 2024 prices, but you're making a saving buying it as a proper full package rather than buying the individual items. And here then this is the instructions for it all, so I'll have to go through these and have a look at these. DC motor speed controller. The all important connecting wiring diagram. So that's all to be looked at. So I'll have to study that, and when I've studied that and when I've had a word with other people that know about these things, we'll hopefully put it into the locomotive together and see if we can get it going successfully. But there you are. Hopefully this unpackaging of this box will enlighten people as to what they're likely to receive if they order one of these kits from M-Tronics. Well, it's some time later now, and having received and opened that package from M-Tronics, I've gone ahead and measured round on the speaker, and I've ordered some of these speaker protection cases up from eBay again, and these came quite quickly, and they come in pairs and you can get different sizes. So I'm hoping this one's big enough to cover the speaker and yet not too big to go inside the body of the locomotive. So I've done some measuring, and I've chosen this one, and we'll see how we go with it. So I can go ahead now and make the wooden enclosure for the speaker itself to go in, and hopefully this will protect it. And following on from part 1 of this series, if you've watched part 1, you might recall this failed thrust bearing that I was looking at on the chassis of the locomotive, and finding that I've gone ahead and ordered some replacements for them on eBay again, and they've come. They were supposed to come within 2 to 3 days, and they came the following day, so that was fantastic really. So I've ordered a couple of them because I needed a couple, and again they're not very expensive items, and this is what they look like when they come, and they're tied together with this little bit of plastic wire here, and this is what I had on my locomotive, if you remember, and this is how they come. So I was obviously a piece missing, so you just cut that with the scissors, and then you can separate them, and so you've got a lower race and an upper race and a ball race that goes in the middle. Now on this particular one, all the balls are set and captivated in the disc. Now if any of you watched the Raglan lathe thing that I did, where I was looking at the thrust bearing there, when I picked the thrust bearing up slightly, the balls were all left behind. I could just see the balls slipping out of the disc, so I didn't pick the disc fully up. But on this one, the balls are actually encapsulated within the disc, so that can be picked up and moved around, and that goes into the bottom race, and then the top race, which again has got the groove in it, goes on top of there like that, and the whole thing just revolves. So this then goes between the bogie of the locomotive and the base of the locomotive body, such that when it's going round, when it's negotiating corners, etc., the two won't grind together, they'll just slide round nicely. That's the idea. So one side will have to be glued down to the locomotive, and the other side will just be loose, as it were, on top. But obviously this part has been lost over the years of my locomotive being in existence. But if anybody knows any history of that locomotive, which I've actually bought from Station Road Steam about 3 years ago, if they know the locomotive, where it came from, or how old it is, etc., if they could leave any information in the comments, that would be great. It did have Dianthus written on the key fob at one time, so Dianthus might mean something to somebody, I'm not sure. But yeah, there we go. If anybody can assist me with any history of that locomotive, which I'm currently in possession of, that'd be great. So now we've got these bits, we can get cracked on with this locomotive project and hopefully get it back on the rails and back in service. So I'll see you in part 3, and we'll have a look at manufacturing a wooden box to house the speaker and fit this ring around. So I'll see you in part 3. Okay, take care, bye for now.